Let's go to Friday. Temple and UTSA. We've got the Roadrunners meet 16.5-point home favorites, 56 the total here in this one. Now we do have a coaching firing with Temple. Stan Drayton let go for the Temple Owls. After, what's funny is they fired the guy after a win. He gets canned after they beat Florida Atlantic on Saturday, and now is the time that they apparently decide we're going to fire Stan Drayton. So peculiar timing, to say the least, especially when we've actually seen, they beat Tulsa a few weeks ago. I know they had a rough time of it against Tulane and East Carolina. You know what? The fact they lost and gave up 56 points to ECU and they gave up 52 to Tulane, they probably had decided already then that they were going to let Stan Drayton go and fire him, but they decided we'll just wait until, maybe after the FAU game, and they did. But they did beat FAU 18-15, although I don't know if that's a ringing endorsement of Temple or whether that's just, Tom Herman and things falling apart at Florida Atlantic right now, because that program has definitely been a disaster as well, and a terrible season for the Florida Atlantic Owls as well. So what do we get from Temple? This is a 3-7 team. They're not going bowling. They're just playing out the string the last two games. They're facing a UTSA team that you could say is playing their best football. It hasn't been a great year for UTSA, but they can get bowl eligible with a win. They got some momentum. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, including back-to-back against Memphis and North Texas. The offense is alive for UTSA. Owen McCown's got it rolling right now. We're waiting for him, the son of Josh McCown, to get it going, and right now he is for this team. There's no doubt. Owen McCown's feeling it. They've got this offense revved up, and typical Jeff Traylor that, a tough start, but good coach team. Well-coached teams get better later in the season as it goes, and you're seeing that right now with UTSA. They are rolling, but this is 16.5, and as bad as things are for Temple, 0-5 straight up on the road, they've been, obliterated in so many games. Oklahoma, Navy, the closest game margin of defeat was UConn for Temple on the road, lost by 9. And then their last 2 conference road games, a 46-point loss to Tulane and a 22-point loss to East Carolina. So I get it. It's not easy to take Temple, but we have seen evidence of teams picking it up and flipping a switch, or at least showing some life after a coaching change. We saw it with Mike Houston with East Carolina. They fired him, and then the next 2 games, look what they did. They routed this Temple team. They routed Florida Atlantic. They beat last week Tulsa. They didn't cover, but they still won. They've showed life after the coaching change. Rice, when they fired Mike Bloomgren earlier this year, they upset Navy as a double-digit dog the first game after they fired Mike Bloomgren. And then they covered against Memphis the following week. So they even showed some signs of life after the coaching change. Do we get that from Temple? If we do, maybe it's too many points. But it's a big if, and it's not a very good team. What do you think here, C-Mac? Temple, UTSA.
Yeah, shout out to Temple. I needed them to get that win. That was the only game left. I thought they could get it. They got over the 2.5 wins. It's close.
Yep.
That's sweet. But yeah, the coach is weird. I mean, just
weird
wait.
Timing to fire him.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
Why don't you just wait till the end of the season at this point? Like, it's weird. Yeah, bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it with Kennesaw's coach. He showed up and shook all the players' hands. It was pretty cool. But yeah, they're just firing these guys.
And look at another example of it. It's amazing. That's worth talking about. The Kennesaw situation with firing Bohannon, who had been there a long time. They fired almost the whole staff. A lot of the players transferred out immediately after the firing of. They weren't happy. They said, "I'm out of here. That's ridiculous. You're firing this guy. He doesn't have a lot to work with this year." And he's, But remember, they upset Liberty, and they're
playing better football. They're covering numbers lately. By the way,
the players said, "Fuck you" to the AD and the department, and said, "We're out of here. It's ridiculous. You're firing this guy." And multiple key players, both sides of the football for Kennesaw, left after he got fired. And yet, look what happened last week against a good Sam Houston State. Even with a depleted fucking roster and a new staff, they gave Sam Houston everything they could handle in that game. So even they responded to a coaching change, the players that were left at least. So that's why maybe we do get life from Temple. Who knows? We'll see. Something to watch for. Bet Temple live if you see that they're playing inspired early in the game is what I would say.
Yeah, and you know what I want to get on this is a little bit last week, which I like UTSA, of course. The line flipped, even the over, it got there. we talked about those a little bit high, but
They're
those
pretty
were the
weak
two
on
teams.
defense, though, UTSA. That's the issue too.
Yeah, I think if you look at this Temple, though, he's been great. Like 300, and they've been great at home. This team just on the road, you don't want to back. And Temple's been dreadful on the road, 0-5, and he just gets their ass kicked. I thought this was a little bit low. Now Temple, their defense has been okay against the pass. They have only 190 yards. That's 29th. But I still think, but they give it up on the ground, and UTSA can do both. I mean, they average 150 on the ground, and of course 300 through the air. I thought this was again, because I think they get to 40, one place on the road, unless they're going to get up for this. And UTSA still needs to play to get to a bowl here. They're 5-5. They want to win this. And what was their next game? Their last one at Army. Yeah. We'll see about that, where they've been not so good on the road. Team total here, it's only 36.5, minus 110. I think they get to 40. I think their offense is just too good. They've been too good at home lately. I mean, 48, 44 against Memphis, 38 against FAU. So, yeah, UTSA team total. I think they could at least get there. If Temple plays with them, they're going to need to score. Yeah. Like, I don't know if their defense can really stop it. It's been better at home against some of the shittier teams, as we saw last week.
FAU's got a pretty bad offense. Let's not give Temple too much credit. Yeah.
Yes,
Saturday.
well, that's what. Yeah, I mean, they played Tulsa. Some of these, but yeah, I think UTSA. I think they could. It might not go crazy, but I think it's a little cheap for their team total, 36.5 UTSA.
The more I'm thinking about it, I think over 56 is in play as well in this. I think UTSA can get 40s against Temple at home with the way McCown is sizzling right now. He's starting to cook right now at quarterback for UTSA.
That offense is humming.
It's humming. Temple's been much worse defensively on the road. But I can think with the coaching change, we might see, just let her rip. Trick plays on offense with Evan Simon, the quarterback. Throw some gadgets in there. It's not like UTSA with the 85 Bears on defense this year. So even Temple can contribute enough, I think, maybe on offense here. And so 56, I like over. I'll probably get involved with that here in this one. But I'm just making the case to be careful of just going ahead and laying it with UTSA, because we have seen so many examples this year in college football of teams responding to a coaching change in that first game positively, covering the point spread, even winning, like Rice, like East Carolina, like Kennesaw State, who, and they lost players in the portal because of the coaching change. And they still took Sam Houston to overtime last week as 18-point dogs. So it's just be careful. Fading Temple in this spot. All right.